Tom Aspinall believes Nate Diaz would win the trilogy against Conor McGregor. Tom Aspinall has spoken about Diaz's contract. According to Aspinall, just because Nate's contract has ended does not mean he has resigned. Whether or not Diaz decides to return to the sport, Aspinall believes the American deserves to pursue whatever he wants and wants him to make as much money as he can. Although we don't know if Diaz will return to the UFC, the American has spoken about his intentions to try his luck in other sports, such as boxing and jiu-jitsu. But before that happens, Aspinall would like to see Diaz fight McGregor one last time and believes the American has a good chance of beating the Irish legend if the trilogy ever happens. Paddy Pimblett, aiming for UFC 282 return, needs an opponent to step up. Paddy Pimblett is gearing up for his return to the octagon. But before that, he needs an opponent to fight. While serving as a guest commentator on the Cage Warriors 144 telecast, Paddy revealed that he would like to fight on the final UFC pay-per-view event of the year. In addition to revealing his plans to fight on December 10th, Paddy said that all fighters talk about how they want to fight him, but when it comes time to sign a contract, they get cold feet. Who would you like to see Pimblett fight? We'll be reading you in the comments.
And I mean, when are we going to see you? Can you talk about when we might see you back in the cage?
I'm planning on fighting December 10th.
Okay.
Cage Warriors. It'd be a
Wishful
while.
thinking.
Be a while before you see me on Cage Warriors. But
yeah, huge exclusive there.
Yeah, UFC 282, lad. I'm planning on fighting on that December 10th. So I'm just waiting for an opponent, lad. I'm waiting for someone to step up and sign on the dotted line. You know, everyone talks about the baddie. Everyone talks about fighting me, but when the contract's in front of them, you know, they're not as confident.
Adriano Martins, the only man to beat Islam Makhachev, sees his former teammate Charles Oliveira regaining the UFC lightweight title. Khabib's protege, Islam Makhachev, has only one loss on his professional MMA record, a knockout loss courtesy of Adriano Martins. Given his experience fighting Islam, the MMA fighting team asked Martins who he thought would win when Makhachev faces Charles Oliveira in the main event of UFC 280 later this month. According to Martins, he respects Makhachev and his evolution as a fighter and believes Oliveira's championship streak could put Islam's in trouble. Given Oliveira's unpredictable nature, Martins believes the Brazilian is likelier to win and knock out Islam. Khamzat Chimaev poses with Kadyrov after a training session at the Dictator's MMA Fight Club. Khamzat Chimaev has published a controversial photo with Ramzan Kadyrov, the dictator and head of the Chechen Republic. Ramzan Kadyrov has been accused of human rights abuses, including enforced disappearances, tortures, and ongoing purge of Chechnya's LGBTQ community. The duo was seen posing for a photo after a training session at the Akhmat MMA Fight Club, a combat sports institution funded by Kadyrov. The post was captioned, Akhmat Sila, a battle cry popularized by Kadyrov that translates as Akhmat power. According to media reports, this phrase is constantly used by Chechen troops participating in the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Cormier disagrees with Cejudo about Nickal versus Khamzat. UFC newcomer Bo Nickal is a standout wrestling star who has shined on Dana White's Contender series. This is why Nickal believes he deserves to fight on the main card. A few days ago, Henry Cejudo caused an uproar by saying that Bo Nickal could easily defeat Khamzat.
Good in wrestling. His wrestling is nowhere near Bo Nickal. I can tell you that. He can take down these UFC guys that have never wrestled. Try taking Bo Nickal down. And 100%, I can see Bo Nickal easily taking down Khamzat Chimaev.
But recently, retired former two-division champion Daniel Cormier has come out to share his opinion on the matter to say that he agrees with Cejudo, to a point. According to Cormier, Nickal is a much better wrestler than Chimaev. But since this is a mixed martial arts bout and not exclusively wrestling, he believes there are more factors in determining who will win a fight.
Him up in just wrestling, I don't believe that Khamzat can compete with him, not just wrestling, but in mixed martial arts, that makes it a little bit more difficult to implement just a strong wrestling base. Look, I struggled taking down John Jones, even though I was a much more credentialed wrestler because he was taller. There are so many factors that go into effectively wrestling someone inside the octagon. So I get what Henry's saying, but I think that in time, that may be true. Today, I think that Bo Nickal still needs a little bit of work. And I think that even though the UFC won't tell you there are development fights, there are still development fights. Like in boxing, it's very clear when a guy doesn't belong inside of the ring with his opponent. There will be clear for Bo Nickal at times. It just won't be said to you right to your face. But there will be some fights that he builds up to.
What do you think about Cormier's statements? Do you agree with the former double champion, or are you more in favor of Cejudo's statement? Let us know what you think in the comments. Conor McGregor and Jorge Masvidal continue to fall in the fighter rankings. Conor McGregor and Jorge Masvidal are no longer among the top 10 fighters in the UFC lightweight and welterweight divisions. After the elimination of two ranked female bantamweights, Aspen Ladd and Sara McMann, there was some upheaval in that division. But beyond that, there were no significant changes in the UFC rankings. Or so we would like to say if it weren't for the fact that two of the UFC's biggest stars lost their rank. While McGregor has dropped to number 12 at lightweight, a division he hasn't won a fight in for 6 years, Masvidal has fallen to number 11 at welterweight. Conor has already made it clear that he plans to return to welterweight in 2023, so we may see his ranking as a lightweight fighter continue to drop. Shaub responds to Rogan and slams Dana White and Mark Zuckerberg for a private UFC event. UFC analyst Joe Rogan recently criticized his friend, former heavyweight fighter Brendan Schaub, saying he was a fool for saying the UFC 279 card change was fixed, and he said he needs a handler like him. That's why Shaub issued a terse response without naming names, accusing Rogan that his guy, referring to White, needs a handler. Shaub also said he's not happy with Mark Zuckerberg's appearance at UFC Vegas 61 and Dana White's lies about it. And he lashed out at Dana and Mark Zuckerberg for banning fans from being able to attend UFC Vegas 61 after Meta's owner rented out the event. Despite White's denials of the latter, UFC released a photo of the promotion's president and Zuckerberg together that caused White to lose credibility.
Hurts me even more is Dana lies about it. And then people want to get mad at me. Oh, dude, come on. That you saying Dana would actually do that UFC 279. Brendan needs a handler. Do I? Or does your boy need a handler? I'm not the one playing grab ass with Mark Zuckerberg, letting him rent out Thick Boy Studios, shutting it down for his entertainment. You should have ran that by me. Right? I don't need a handler. These guys need a handler. Somebody should have gotten the ear of Dana and Mark Zuckerberg. Hey, you two rich, privileged fucks. Come over here. Let me tell you something. Somebody should have done this at UFC Institute. Hey, you two rich, privileged fucks. Come here. Let me talk to you. Do not ban the media. Do not allow fans to attend this event. It affects the fighters. What's our first priority here? The fighters? That's what you say. We know you're lying. But this makes it even worse. Just because the guy's a billionaire and stole a fucking app called Facebook off two twins doesn't make this guy special. He became a fan last fucking week. Quit posting shit. You're driving away your fan base. This isn't the way to go. Don't call him Zuck on your fucking social media either. You don't know the guy. We'll see how long he's gonna be into it.
That's all for today, guys. If you want to know the latest UFC news, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell, and click the like button so you don't miss any details about the upcoming fights. Thanks for watching. We will see you soon.